Hello and welcome back to another book video. I'm doing the Mid-Year Freakout Tag. Basically, it's just some questions about what I've read so far and what I'm excited to read and etc. I have my got books and it says I do on the back. Naturally, because got books, I do. Okay, so to start off, I'm gonna go through my story graph and talk about the books I've read so far. I've read 23 books. I'm apparently 2 books ahead of schedule. The stats for like the moods of my books, I've read apparently 15 emotional books, 10 funny, 9 lighthearted. So I guess I'm pretty well balanced in reading sad books and happy books. So that's good. Pace, I've read 61% medium paced, which I don't even notice the pacing of a book unless it's just like unbelievably slow, but that's not something I really care about. Page numbers, 61% have been between 300 and 500 pages. And then fiction and nonfiction, this one's a little bit off because I did read a nonfiction book that it's like not properly tagged on here, so it's not counting it, but it was just one. So yeah, overwhelmingly fiction books, but you know, that's fine. And then genres, contemporary, romance, young adult, obviously. And then my least read ones are biography and fantasy, which, you know, that tracks. Format, I've read mostly like physical books, and then I've read a little bit of digital. She got that Kindle Unlimited. My most read authors are Christina Lauren and Rebecca Searle with 2 books apiece. And my average rating per book is 4.27 stars. So that's great. I only have 1 3-star book, and I have mostly 4 stars. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, now that we know generally what I've been reading, let's get into the tag. So the first question is best book so far. Obviously, I'm extremely indecisive, so I'm not just gonna give you one book. I'm gonna give you a couple. Now, I'm biased to this book because number one, how stinking cute is this? But also, I'm biased to it because I literally just read it, and you know, you feel better about a book when you just read it and it's super fresh on your mind. But I did give this 5 stars. It was so perfect, and I read it at the perfect time. I needed like a super light, summery, cute romance, but like it's more than a romance. There's like a lot of stuff that goes on. Basically, I'm not going to talk too much about each book because then it's just going to be too much. But basically, this girl lost her sister 2 years ago, and she's going back to Martha's Vineyard where her family has vacationed like every summer, and she's going back for her cousin's wedding, and she meets this guy, and they're playing this big game of assassin. Her family is across the place where they live on the island, across the island, blah, blah, blah. And it was just super cute and fun, and I loved it, and I needed it in my life. And yeah, it's great. I also gave The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle 5 stars because I just can't even, literally just thinking about this book makes me want to break into tears. I can't even think about it. It breaks my heart. And Rebecca Searle books aren't for everybody, I get that, but everything she's done has floored me. So, you know, you've been asked before, like, if you could have dinner with 5 people dead or alive, who would you have dinner with? Basically, she goes into her birthday dinner, and her list of the 5 people she would have dinner with, they're all at the table. And yeah, if you know anything about Rebecca Searle, it's, you know, not a plot twist, but a plot twist. Yes, a plot twist. There's a big plot twist, and it's super sad and magical realism, and it's just fantastic. And then I hopped on the train, I read my first Colleen Hoover book. I read Reminders of Him because people say that's like her most mature, most like best book so far. And it intrigued me, so I read it, and I don't know. I mean, I loved it. I literally loved it. It was so good, but I hated to love it because everybody's on the Colleen Hoover train, and she is really good, but I'm like, there's so many other really good authors out there that you guys need to read. But I do get the hype. It was really, really good. I plan to read some more books by her, but I think that'll probably remain my favorite because it was just, I love sad stuff. And I don't know why, because it's just, sad stuff makes me so sad, obviously, but I love it. And it was really, really good. This mom gets out of jail, and you slowly find out what for, and she goes back to look for her kid who was taken away from her, and because she was in jail, obviously. And it's just like her fight to see her, but she's being taken care of by these other people, and she kind of falls in love with the guy who has contact with her, but she doesn't know that he has contact with her daughter at first, so it's a lot, but it was really, really good. So those are my best books. Next question, best sequel. To be fair, this is the only sequel I've read so far, but it would still be the best. The entire Crave series by Tracy Wolff. People will say what they will. They're like, oh, it's cheesy and oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's literally so good. The world building, the balance between the fantasy and real world stuff, the love stuff, the magic stuff, the friendship, just everything. It's so great. And this was, I don't know if this is my favorite book. I think the third book is my favorite book in the series, but this one is really, really good. And yeah, I mean, I can't really say much about it because it's the fourth book in a series, but if you know, you know. Next question is a new release you haven't read yet but want to. I just got, where'd it go? I just got this book in my book of the month. It's called The Lifestyle, and I've been waiting to read it after I read something really happy, because I have a feeling, I think it's gonna be funny and kind of lighthearted, but it's dealing with a pretty kooky topic. This book is about swingers, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, basically, and this is not a spoiler, I haven't read this obviously, this is from the synopsis. She walks in on her husband cheating on her, and she doesn't want to get a divorce. That's not part of her plan. So, which, I mean, okay. And, so they decide to become swingers. And I think this is gonna be really good and funny, or really dark, or both. So we'll see, I'm excited for it. Next is most anticipated release from the second half of the year. And this book has been, the date has been pushed back a lot, so hopefully it's coming out in November, but that's Charm, and it's also part of the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. This one though, I really can't say anything about it, because if you haven't read Crave, then it's gonna ruin the entire series for you, but basically it's like a sequel prequel kind of thing. It's like a spin-off tie-in, I don't know. You'd have to read the series, but I'm literally so pumped. I already know that it's a 5-star read without even, with it being like 6 months away. I'm so excited. Biggest disappointment that I've read this year, I have to say The Cheat Sheet. I liked this book. I don't know if it's just like the mood I was in when I read it, or if I was expecting too much, or what, but people love this book and hate this book. I went through the reviews to make sure that I wasn't being unfair, and so many people absolutely love it, and then so many people are kind of on the same page as me. I liked it. It was cute, it was light, it was fluffy, it's friends to lovers. She's a ballerina, he's a professional football player in the NFL. They have to fake date. They both are in the friend zone, think they don't like each other, have been friends for years. I don't know. I gave this like 3.75 stars. Like, I did not rate it very highly, and I don't know why. Just something about it didn't, like, after it was over, I was like, yeah, that was good. Like, I don't know, it just didn't give me, which not every book is gonna give you like that feeling, but I don't know. I did like that it was a closed door romance. There was no like scenes of a spicy nature in it. But yeah, I don't know, and I still don't know, like, to this day I can't figure out what about it deters me. But yeah, I was really expecting to like it. Maybe I hyped it up too much in my head, I don't know. Biggest surprise. I'm gonna talk about this book again because I knew it was gonna be cute and light and fun, but I didn't know like how much I was gonna love it. I didn't expect it to be 5 stars. So this book for sure, but normally I know like whether I'm gonna like a book or not, so it's rare that a book like really surprises me. Like if I pick something up and I choose to spend my time reading it, I know that I'm probably gonna like it. Favorite new author, either a debut author or someone new to you. I hate to say it. I hate to say Colleen Hoover, but Colleen Hoover, she got me. She, hook, line, and sinker, Colleen Hoover, she got me. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna read more of her books. The next question is a book that made you cry. What book hasn't made me cry is a better question. Obviously, The Dinner List. And then, of course, another Rebecca Searle book that I tabbed to high heavens, One Italian Summer. This book, mwah, so good. Not quite a 5 stars. I can't remember why, but if I didn't have that 5-star feeling, but I gave it a 4.5. It's just so good and very sad, obviously. Rebecca Searle never fails to make me cry. And then books that made you happy. I can't shut up about it. I love it. It made me so happy. Also, See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Can't we just, with the pink books? I'm loving it. But this is about a girl who goes off to college and she gets stuck in a time loop on her first day, and then she meets a guy who's also been stuck in the time loop for a month. And I am just, this is probably niche to me, but I am just a sucker for any type of time loop situation. Groundhog Day, In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, Happy Death Day. I love it. I don't know what it is about it, but I love a time loop. And this was just like a very cute, funny, but it kind of got serious. But it's a YA and it's about her college experience, and it was just very cute and it made me very happy. Then, if you don't know this about me, I was a figure skater in a past life. I love figure skating and I don't know why. I'm obsessed with it. This is from Luke Off with Love by Mariana Zapata. And this was my first Mariana Zapata book. I really liked it. I didn't give it 5 stars because sometimes it dragged a tiny bit slow for me. Not enough for me to really care, but enough for me to not rate it 5 stars. But I loved this. I loved all the figure skating, and basically this girl's pairs partner quits on her, and then like the notorious skater Ivan Lukov needs a partner and asks her to be his partner. And it's just, even though it's not 5 stars, it's still one of my favorite books just because it holds such a special place in my heart. When I see this cover, my body sets on fire. I really, really liked it. And it made me happy. Okay, the next one is Most Beautiful book. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. That is just such a good vibes cover. It's just so beautiful and summery and pretty. And then obviously One Italian Summer. Look at the shimmer. Oh my gosh, it just, it makes me want to go to Italy so bad. Rebecca Searle covers are always great. And I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna hold this here. You know how I feel. Okay. And last question, books you want to read by the end of the year. I bought Ugly Love, I gave it to Temptation, I'm on the Colleen Hoover train, and I'm gonna try Ugly Love. People say it's toxic, people say they hate it, but people also say they love it, and it's great. And you know, I'm down for a bit of a dark time since I've been reading some super happy books. So yeah, I definitely want to read this. And then next on my list is From Blood and Ash and the sequel. I don't even know what it's called. Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Because I'm having fantasy withdrawals a little bit. And I've had these books for like 2 years and haven't read them. They were bought for me and I really need to read them. But yeah, I think I'm in a mood now where I can start this. Also, I'm not someone who has big book fear. I will tackle a 500, 600 page book, but this book is just so big. This book is 613 pages and its sequel is 628 pages. So I'm just a little bit hesitant, but I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna do it. And then obviously I mentioned that, obviously I mentioned this was my book of the month book. I do want to read this eventually. I am like 3 books behind on my book of the month books, but it's just so fun to get a book of the month every month. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna do it. I think it's gonna be next, along with From Blood and Ash. Those will be fun to read side by side. So yeah, that is my, what was it called? That was my mid-year freakout tag, and some of my book stats and stuff. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll check back in at the end of the year to see if I actually read the books I said I was gonna read, and to see if any of my opinions have changed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Also, if you want to follow me on Goodreads or the Storygraph, they will both be in the description along with my Bookstagram. Okay, thanks. Bye.